Harts Creek is one of the main tributaries of Te Waihora Lake Ellesmere, New Zealand's 5th largest lake, just to the south of Christchurch. The lake is internationally significant for wildlife and, along with its tributaries, is of huge importance to Ngāi Tahu. It has been a food basket for many generations. Unfortunately, the health of the lake and its tributaries has declined considerably in recent years.
I had a knock on the door one summer's day in harvest time, and a complete stranger introduced himself. He said, "My name's Alan Fife. I'm a fisherman. I'm concerned about the state of Harts Creek. I've fished there for a long time and it's been steadily getting worse. Fish numbers, trout numbers have been dropping."
I started fishing in Harts Creek in either 1983 or 1984, and it was an extraordinary trout stream. Harts Creek, in my estimation, was a brown trout fishery of world-class status. The numbers and the size of the fish that came in from the lake into Harts Creek was quite extraordinary. Hundreds, easily hundreds, in the late 1980s. I watched the decline for a few years and became increasingly alarmed by it. The stream was silting up very, very badly, and cattle were grazing on the margins, causing soil pugging and consequent erosion.
After a lifetime living in the area, Peter could see the stream was in trouble, so he contacted Environment Canterbury.
It was a matter of working with the local landowners and getting them on board and getting them to see that it actually was a problem. And so that took some time for the landowners to get their head around the fact that what they were doing was actually impacting on the stream and the life in the stream.
I was very reluctant.
Harts Creek runs through Colin Patterson's farm, and 15 years ago the stream was unfenced. Back then, Colin's cattle had easy access to the water.
I knew straight off it was quite a complex job and expensive, but Mr. Hewson was a very fine fellow actually, and one of the nicest guys you'd ever meet. And his diplomatic approach had me nibbling very smartly. And he said, "Well, go round and have a look at the creek." And here was the cattle right in the creek. I mean, one had actually just dropped the dung in it, and so I had no alternative but to say, yes, I will do it.
A committee comprising various landowners was formed, and it came up with a clear objective: profitable land use while at the same time improving water quality.
That was the start of it. Now we've worked our way right up the creek, and 13 landholders have been engaged in it, and it's now quite exciting to see. But isn't that a picture, that
yes,
all that native planting there, when you think of it as willow like that
yes,
in the early stages? Yeah.
And the birds have come in now, some berries and stuff they feed on. It's really, really, really good.
I think the things that make it work are that we always invite an Environment Canterbury staff member who's involved with the streams out this way to attend our meetings, so they know what we're thinking, and they're very helpful to us in applying for money and filling in application forms. But they know a lot more about that than we do, and it's been a lot easier than I thought it would have been, and it's just a matter of keeping tidy records.
It's taken a lot of work, but when you look at the water and to what it was then, it's just amazing how it's cleared up, and the trout have come back in, and so many people come down here and use it now. It's a great community asset now.
So you get a lot of people talking to you when you're down here working with your cattle?
All over the world, Peter. Yeah, wonderful. The Streamcare group, I think, have done a great job. Encouraging all the others up the creek. It wouldn't matter what I did here if the ones that further up didn't do anything. We wouldn't have water like this. So it's been cooperation all round.
In terms of the plantings and the maintenance, I think one thing that's been really important is having a passionate and competent contractor sort of looking after the plants. It's really easy to have a community planting day and have a lot of plants put in the ground, and then if they're not looked after properly, all that work can be lost.
It takes a bit of patience and a bit of perseverance, because you can't just fence the creek off and expect it to look after itself. You'll get every weed that's seaweed in there, and so you do have to do a little bit of work at the start. But once the plants get their own space, you're away laughing, and it just grows on. Nature does the rest.
This year, 2014, I've seen extraordinary numbers of extraordinarily large trout in the bottom of Harts Creek, so that makes me optimistic.
One of the best things about this group is the selection of Peter as chairman, because he recognised the significance of the creek running through his farm 20 years before we even started this. You've got all sorts of different natures in the committee people, and they bring a different perspective to it, and it's worked very well on this group, there's no doubt about it, and I'm pleased I'm part of it, and we've achieved what we have to date. It's very rewarding.
We must all think of the future and correct the mistakes of the past. If humankind is to survive for 1,000 years and past, we must look after our water as it makes its way to the sea, and not pollute the atmosphere for my grandchildren and me. With the rise of pristine waters from the springs at the head of Harts Creek, which winds its way through rich farmland to the lake, even as we speak, it must be kept in top condition. Solutions we must find and provide a home for the fish and game for the sake of all mankind.